I recognize the member for Haldeman Norfolk.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is for the Premier. We have witnessed this government condone the expropriation and development of farmland over the past few years. If this is a government best practice, then I suggest we keep it in the ag family and begin investing in ag food processing. $670 million to a Norwegian company, $424 million to Umicore. The Parliamentary Budget Officer estimates total provincial contributions for EV projects in Canada to be about $21.1 billion, most of that coming right here from Ontario. Yesterday, Stellantis, a company this government upholds with immense amounts of taxpayer dollars, couldn't even be bothered to show up and meet with MPs. You know who always shows up? Our farmers, our ag organizations. And talking about a $100 million boost to RMP 2 days before this provincial election in 2025 is absolutely rich when farmers had been begging for that support for years. Speaker, when will the Premier protect and tariff-proof Ontario by strengthening local food systems through farmland protection and increased domestic processing?
Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you again, Speaker. Thank you for the question about protecting farmers, protecting food supply systems, and protecting farmland, because last evening, the member may not know that I stood proudly in front of over 700 delegates from the Ontario Federation of Agriculture, highlighting the fact that 1 in 9 jobs, mine included, are in food and food care. We talked about soil health. We talked about the balanced approach this government is taking for protecting land. So now, just outside the GTA, but all of Ontario, has an agriculture impact assessment done when there's any land use change whatsoever. So we're protecting farmers, food systems, investing, like I just mentioned earlier, $41 million in research and innovation to make sure Canada remains and Ontario remains the leader in global food production.
Back to the member for Haldeman Norfolk.
Thank you, Speaker. As a farm girl, I appreciate a good word salad. R&D funding is an essential part of our agri-food sector, but is not food processing, no matter how you try to spin it. Look south of the border, where Ontario's investments pale in comparison to those being made in several states. Our neighbours have prioritized strengthening food systems across every segment of the food supply chain, from farm to fork. And yes, there is significant support from the Fed. So I say to the minister opposite, it's time to multitask and lean on the federal government, but also take the time to take the lead and set the example right here in Ontario. Because agriculture is not subject to the boom and bust that other industries are subjected to, doesn't mean it should be an afterthought. And I'll remind members, no mention of this in the fall economic statement, and I'm hoping things will change at budget time. Speaker, to the Premier, once again, will this government develop a long-term strategy for ag food processing in Ontario?
Back to the Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you again, Speaker. We've made record investments, and maybe $100 million is trifling to the member opposite, but $100 million came from the very people who inform us. So farm girls, farm boys, professional farmers, researchers came together to inform this Premier, who picks up his phone when he's answered, and this minister who picks up his phone when called upon, to listen to the people that inform us. Those investments aren't trifling. Those investments are real. Provincial policy statements with land use planning, they're real things too. We're taking farmers' input, researchers' input into consideration, developing good policy, making strategic investments in research and innovation. I invite the member opposite to check out Agriculture Research and Innovation Ontario to find out all the good things we're doing to make sure we grow all the good things that continue to grow in Ontario.